The new discoveries here at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre happened during a recent restoration around the tomb of Jesus.
On April 19, 2025, thousands of Orthodox Christians from around the world gathered in Jerusalem.
The first Christianization of Jerusalem because of Emperor Constantine. The first monuments built in memory of the death of Christ.
This ancient ritual symbolizing the resurrection of Jesus Christ is a cornerstone of Orthodox Easter celebrations.
For nearly 2,000 years, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem has stood as a sacred symbol of faith and reverence, marking the traditional site of Jesus Christ's crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. Millions have visited the ornate church, kneeling in devotion, praying over marble slabs, and gazing upon candles flickering with ancient hope. But what lay beneath the surface had remained sealed, hidden from human eyes for nearly 5 centuries, until now. In a stunning restoration project, modern science and ancient faith collided beneath one of Christianity's holiest sites, uncovering not just relics, but a revelation. In 2016, a team of conservationists and archaeologists from the National Technical University of Athens quietly began a delicate mission to restore the ailing edicule, the small shrine built over the burial site of Jesus. Their work was expected to be purely architectural, but what they found went far beyond bricks and mortar. As they carefully removed layers of marble that had sealed the tomb since 1555, the team came face to face with history, faith, and a mystery long buried but never forgotten. At first, what lay beneath the top marble slab was underwhelming: rubble, fill material, and centuries of debris. Doubt crept in. Had the original tomb of Christ been destroyed by time and renovation? Had centuries of veneration been misdirected toward nothing more than legend? But the team pressed on. After 60 relentless hours of excavation, beneath the initial debris and another slab carved faintly with a cross, they reached something extraordinary: a limestone shelf hewn directly into the bedrock of the cave. This, they believed, was the burial bed, the very spot where Jesus of Nazareth, crucified under Pontius Pilate, was laid to rest. For archaeologists like Frederick Hebert, who represented National Geographic during the project, the moment was surreal. "I wasn't expecting this. My knees are shaking," he admitted. For a man accustomed to ancient ruins, this discovery transcended archaeology. It was the physical intersection of scripture and stone. What makes this discovery so significant is that it isn't a symbolic site or a medieval replica. This is a geological feature, an authentic burial shelf carved into a 1st century cave. It matches what the Gospels describe and aligns with Jewish burial practices of that era. The discovery adds weight not just to the biblical narrative, but to the physical geography of faith. But the surprises didn't end there. As the restoration continued, the team examined the walls of the edicule itself. For centuries, scholars debated whether the structure was truly built over the actual tomb of Jesus or merely over a traditional site believed to be sacred. During a structural survey, researchers opened a long hidden inspection window in the southern wall. Behind it, they found untouched stone, rough, uncarved cave walls that matched precisely the form of a 1st century Jewish tomb. This was not a symbolic replica. It was a preserved piece of ancient Jerusalem. Professor Antonia Moropoulou, the chief scientific coordinator of the project, was astonished. "We were looking at the Holy Rock," she said. It had finally been revealed. What had long been suspected was now confirmed. The edicule had been built directly around the original tomb, preserved beneath layers of history and stone. This finding echoed the records of early Christian historians like Eusebius of Caesarea, who documented how Emperor Hadrian attempted to erase Christian memory by constructing a pagan temple over the site in the 2nd century. Ironically, this act preserved the location. When Constantine the Great converted to Christianity, inspired by his mother Helena's pilgrimage to the Holy Land, he ordered Hadrian's temple destroyed and the tomb unearthed in 325 AD. Over that sacred space, he built the first version of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Now, in the 21st century, science has confirmed what pilgrims have believed for centuries, that this is the place where Christ's body lay, however briefly before his resurrection. But one question remains. Is this truly the tomb of Jesus? Skeptics naturally ask for proof, and while absolute certainty may elude us, the evidence is compelling. The tomb discovered beneath the church fits the gospel narrative, a private burial chamber, cut into stone, located outside the city walls, and consistent with the burial customs of a wealthy Jew in the 1st century. The historical record supports the location's continuity from the time of Constantine to the present. As Dan Bahat, the former chief city archaeologist of Jerusalem, put it plainly, "We have no better candidate and no reason to reject it." Thousands of similar tombs exist in Jerusalem, but none with this level of historical, geographical, and architectural continuity. This site is the only one with an unbroken tradition of reverence, supported by archaeology and ancient texts alike. Then, in 2022, another astonishing layer of the mystery was revealed. Excavations led by Professor Francesca Stasula uncovered remnants of a cultivated garden beneath the church, beneath even the tomb itself. This garden wasn't a random collection of plants or roots. It was organized, consistent with horticultural practices of the time, and matched the description of a garden mentioned in the Gospel of John. Now, in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden, a new tomb, in which no one had yet been laid. John 19:41. Could this be that garden? The implications are profound. Not only do we have a tomb that matches the biblical description in age, architecture, and location, but now evidence of a garden as well, sealed beneath centuries of religious construction and conflict. Ultimately, whether one views this discovery through the eyes of faith or science, its importance is undeniable. For believers, it reaffirms the truth of the resurrection in a physical, tangible way. For historians and archaeologists, it is one of the most significant biblical discoveries in modern times. And for the world, it is a reminder that even buried beneath centuries of stone and silence, truth has a way of rising again, just like the man who once lay there.